So you want to play a tabletop role-playing game. Great. Maybe you got hooked watching Critical Role, maybe playing Baldur's Gate 3 until your eyes bled, or maybe you just need a socially acceptable way to escape real-life responsibilities by, ironically, signing up for more social responsibilities. But there's one problem. Where do you actually find a game? Because despite what fantasy novels would have you believe, mysterious hooded figures don't just appear in taverns to offer you grand adventures. And if they do, maybe you shouldn't follow them. But I have some great news. You don't need ancient scrolls, cryptic prophecies, or a ritual sacrifice to find a game. You just need to know where to look and how to get involved. So grab your dice, because today we're talking about how to find the role-playing game that's right for you. Let's roll. First, let's figure out what kind of game you're looking for, because not all tabletop role-playing games are the same. Do you want an in-person game or an online one? Are you looking for D&D, or are you open to trying other systems? And yes, contrary to popular belief, there are other games besides D&D, and no, don't be afraid. Do you want something rules light and casual, or deep and tactical? Are you hoping for a serious dramatic campaign, or a group that mainly gathers to make bad puns and derail the plot? Knowing what you want ahead of time makes finding the right group so much easier. Otherwise, you'll show up to a Lovecraftian horror game with a bard named Sparkletoes and wonder why there's no dragon for you to seduce. If you're looking for an in-person game, you can start with your friendly local game store. Most have bulletin boards full of looking for player ads, and many host regular RPG nights where you can meet groups actively looking for new members. More and more libraries and community centers are hosting RPG nights, and some cafes even have board game sections with scheduled D&D sessions. Gaming conventions are another great way to find games, or at the very least narrow down what you want to play by allowing you opportunities to try new systems. Whether massive ones like Gen Con or small local tabletop gaming conventions, many have open tables specifically for new players or one-shots designed for beginners. Plus, you get to meet other equally nerdy people in person, and at smaller cons, they usually live in your area. So all this is a really rare and beautiful thing. Believe it or not, Facebook still has some solid LFG groups. Several of the players at my current in-person game are people I met through posting on an LFG on several local Facebook groups. So I know this works. And meetup.com, yes, people still use Meetup. I was surprised too. Is surprisingly useful for finding tabletop role-playing groups in your area. Maybe you want to find a game but don't feel like putting pants on. First of all, respect. Online platforms like Roll20, Foundry VTT, and Fantasy Grounds have built-in looking for group sections where you can find or start campaigns. Just search for a game that fits your vibe. Discord servers and Reddit forums are absolute gold mines for finding groups. Reddit's r/LFG looking for group is filled with players and GMs searching for new adventurers. Many tabletop role-playing Discord servers like D&D Beyond and Roll20's official servers have dedicated LFG channels where you can find a game that fits your schedule. Just remember, when responding to a post, don't just say, "I'd like to join." Introduce yourself. Mention your experience, your preferred playstyle, and whether or not you have an unhealthy attachment to goblins. Really, seriously, you should disclose that. If all else fails, sometimes the best way to play is to start your own game. If you can't find a campaign that fits your schedule, be the GM and build your own adventuring party. Ask your friends, even if they're new, because teaching fresh players or learning together can be a blast. Post in LFG forums in your area looking for players and try to run a one-shot first to test the group's chemistry before committing to a long campaign. And don't stress about being the perfect GM right away. Every GM starts out just as clueless as their players. And my final tip, finding a game isn't just about where to look, it's about finding the right people. A campaign with great players and a mediocre story is still fun. It's a blast. A campaign with a perfect, intricate story but terrible group chemistry is really painful. So don't be afraid to try different groups until you find one that clicks. Tabletop role-playing games are a social experience. Playing with people who match your energy makes all the difference. Trust me. So whether you're scouring game stores, diving into online forums, or tricking your unsuspecting friends into a homebrew adventure of questionable legality, the key is to just start looking. I promise you there is a game out there for you. Now, if you found this guide helpful, hit like and subscribe. Drop a comment with your best tips for finding a game, or tell me how you found your current group. And as always, may all your rolls be nat 20s, and I'll see you next time.